Hey everyone, today is Thursday, April 14th, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Champions Online. They have several arcing storylines in the game, and I mean, once you get past the tutorial of rescuing Millennium City from the alien invasion, the Kular, um, you immediately kind of start in on the next one. And it's about gang violence in West Side Millennium City. And there are multiple groups. You have the New Purple Gang, run by Kevin Poe. You have I think they're called the Cobra Lords, and they're run by a guy his name's Frank Zanetti, I think. Um, you have the Maniacs, run by some chick named Zoe, and you have the Black Aces, run by an actual Kular named Ludwig, and then you have the Cult of the Red Banner, which is run by some Asian wizard dude. I can't remember. He has a hard time pronouncing Millennium. And it's really tongue in cheek and it's hilarious. But anyways, the first major storyline takes you pretty much all the way up to level 14 or 15. And it's a lot of fun and it's easy to keep track of. And I'd completed it before with a different character. So I kind of just blitzkrieged right through it. And then I went to do the Canadian Wilderness stuff, which technically is for levels like 5 to 8 for the Crisis Zone. And then after that, it goes up to about 14 or so. So I grabbed a couple levels off of that. Then I went and I'm doing the desert. And, that one's roughly 15, 16, 17 for the Crisis Zone. And then after that, it goes all the way up to, I think, 26. Now, I'm level 22. I've been doing some of the stuff around the amusement park, robot cowboys and whatnot. And, I'm doing some of that, and I'm noticing... no, it's not that I'm noticing. It's just that I'm hitting quests that are, like, getting either at my level or 1 to 2 levels lower. And that's cool. I'm hip with that. But what I did is I noticed I had some quests from back in Millennium City in the city center, which is north of where I'm usually working. Northeast, actually. Because the way the city works out is, you have your west side, and I'm doing this backwards because I'm on the camera. So you have your west side, you have city center, and then you have downtown over here, and then in the middle is Renaissance Center, which is where, all the shops and stuff are. So you spend all your time in West Side for a while there. You clean that out. Then you disappear and go somewhere else, and then you come back and you start doing stuff in City Center. And I started doing stuff in City Center, and I'm having a hard time grabbing the story. Out in the Canadian wilderness, it was pretty easy. It was, rescue everybody and then, solve this problem, solve that problem. And I think eventually I'll get sent back there, but I'm not sure how. And in the desert, it's, solve this problem, then, okay, solve our local problem, then solve the problem over here, then go this way and solve their problems, and then go down this way and solve their problems, and then go this way and solve the problems at the amusement park. And find out, in the process, I'm trying to find out who's causing the problems with this, who's causing the problems with this. So, for example, in the desert, the initial crisis zone is a bad guy named Gigawatt. And then after that, you have to deal with the fallout from that one. And then in Burnside, the ghost town, the issue is Witchcraft's sister, which I can't necessarily remember her name, but it might be Talisman. I don't remember. So you have to deal with a witch. And then in the next area, you had to deal with more nuclear stuff, so you had to deal with a bad guy named Fallout. And his rocket that was going to be laden with a lot of radioactive material, and they wanted to destroy Millennium City for whatever reason. And the next areas are kind of intertwined. So you have extra radioactive monsters, you have some bad special forces guys, Viper, and then you have the amusement park. And somehow all this is tied in together. And I'm just starting to scratch the surface on that. I have a feeling that the Viper guys are what messed up with the amusement park, because I've defeated some weaponsmiths and machinists and stuff like that. And I've caught them with the robot cowboys and what have you, in flagrante delicto. And it's really, I'm tied into it. But when I go back to Millennium City, I kind of feel like, okay, I'm back home. I feel comfortable here. And then they're like, okay, you remember the new Purple Gang? Well, you got to beat up more of those guys. Okay. And these Viper guys, you got to beat them up too. All right, that's fine. I'm cool with that. And then there's this new faction that uses psionic powers. They're called Mind Inc. And I'm like, okay. So I guess I just haven't gotten deep enough into city center quest lines yet to understand necessarily the overarching story. So I obviously have more playing to do. Today I've thus far taken a break, but last night I did get up to level 22. I'm still enjoying myself. The game is still like instant therapy. It's like if I find myself getting frustrated with the game, I step back, I take a second, I take stock of my abilities, my character's abilities, and then I go, all right, what can I do to make this really easy? And as of late, I've been using Demolish, the two-hand POW, that really speeds up combat, especially against henchmen. A move that does something like 300 to 400 damage with a tap, well, actually more like 200 to 400 with a tap, takes out a 500 hit point bad guy pretty freaking quickly. Beat, crack, move on to the next guy. Something like that. And I was telling a friend last night that most bosses can only take a fully charged one with my defensive bonuses, because if I block something, I do an extra 100% damage on the next hit. If I do that combined with a fully charged Demolish, most bosses can't take that more than 3 times. And that's really cool. I like having this kind of power at my disposal. It makes me feel... It makes playing this character feel, awesome. And I'm able to achieve a lot with this character, this archetype, if you will. Oh, for the record, I'm using the Behemoth archetype, beating things down with my fist. It's a little irritating when things start attacking from range, but I can handle it. Anyways, maybe I'll show you guys some gameplay footage later, as it is. I think this has gone on a little too long. And, check out the video I posted late last night, around midnight, of 2 of my dogs playing. Feel free to add your own captions, because I kind of go back and forth between the two. It's about 2.5 minutes long. The lighting is terrible because that room is always dim. It's great for the eyes, though. Oh, man. But I am backlit during that, just so you know. There is a light bouncing off the wall behind me. So that, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, and it, just so you know, it doesn't have a lot of sound. It's just a quiet video. The dogs weren't making any real noises. The only sound there is probably me shifting in my seat and the TV, which I keep kind of quiet anyways. So, anyways, until next time, take it easy.